Hello to those who are watching. I'm here with Trevor John. My name is Christianne van Wijk, and I'm one of the organizers of the Gathering of the Mavericks. The third time it will be held this year in May, and we'll be gathering in at Hope community in Sussex in the UK. And today, Trevor John and I want to just have a little chat about the whole meaning of why we're gathering. And we'll start that off with, why is it so important to gather right now? And can it actually make a difference? And before I'll spout my opinion, Trevor, why don't you kick off?
Yeah. Hi, Christiana.
Hello.
Yeah. Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, yes, today, isn't it?
Well, kind of. Well, it's actually in Iran they celebrate New Year around the spring equinox, and
Yes,
all the Persian cultures do.
yeah, of course. And isn't it like, didn't it stop at around the 1300s?
Yeah. And
That
well,
it
for
sort of,
us, you mean?
yeah.
I mean, yeah, because in some places in the world they still do that, and it makes much more sense.
Yes, of course it makes much more sense. This is the new year. Everything's
Yes.
sprouting and everything's coming out. And the 1st of January is like, what?
Yeah. No.
Everyone's
What's
in
that all
deep
about?
slumber. Yeah.
Yeah. My bees definitely think it's a new year.
Yes. Oh, how
I,
lovely.
I've got
You
a
got
couple.
bees.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I've got a couple of beehives up the garden.
oh, how nice. Where do you live?
In Kent,
Nice. The
so not
climate
too
in
far
the
from Hope.
mm,
Yeah, any
yeah,
excuse to go to Hope. That's like a magical place to have a
I
gathering.
agree. I
Yeah.
I think people that don't know about hope, it's there isn't enough I can say about it of what how
Mm,
important it is of
really
what they
important.
do. And when in that question of the importance of gathering, they've made that to an art, haven't they? Because
Yes.
they've created a hub to physically meet,
Yeah.
and they're giving children a future uh, away from mainstream programming. So
Yeah. And when you see the kids down there, how they put them on the door for events, and
yeah,
how self-assured and
yeah,
unfazed they are, and how they'll talk to adults on a level they're not kind of intimidated at all.
no,
It's really good to see, and I know Katie, Joe, and Sadie and Matt really well. And yeah, any excuse. I've gone down there and sung at their comedy nights, and I've done their festivals, and it's always lovely. Just walking on that ground is a spiritual experience for me.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
understand because they walk their talk, don't they? It's not just
yeah,
concepts, and that's one of the reasons also why this gathering was born because of the idea of, well, I don't know how it is for you, but in my daily life, I'm mainly editing films. And
right.
so I'm alone a lot. I'm also quite introverted and not really like a very outgoing kind of person. So
Yeah,
I feel frustrated sometimes when I see what's going on social media, how quickly the world is changing. And a lot of the time, I just feel like I need to do something. And I know that my films will have an impact in some form, but there's
mm,
nothing like coming together with a group of people that all face in the same direction and
yeah,
are all envisioning a world based on love, good ethics, respect, creativity, co-creativity,
yeah,
and basically our natural state, really.
yeah. And in analog world, that's the most important thing. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've started talking to somebody at one of these festivals, or you meet someone that is awake. I don't really like that phrase, but
Awakening.
awakening. Yeah, no one's awake. Least of
Yeah,
all the people who say they
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah,
But you start talking to them, and then it's as if you've known them forever.
yeah.
And I mean, this is a perfect example because we've never really spoken, have we?
No, well, we had a
Uh,
short chat on the phone
yeah,
before, and
yeah,
and I said after about 20 minutes, let's keep the rest of the conversation for this little chat, because otherwise we'll have talked about everything. But it's
yeah,
that instant feeling of like we're on
yes.
the same flow here,
Yeah, no, I
talking
can
each other
feel
out.
your energy from here. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And what I love about it as well is that, for instance, an example, David Icke. Now, David Icke is going to be present via online link
Yeah.
to join one of the roundtables. But he gets quite a lot of abuse on social media,
Mm.
always has done.
Yeah.
But you realize that's not indicative of what the reality is like, because
No.
whenever we are walking down the street, people will stop him, either in the street or in a pub, a restaurant, or whatever. And it's always the same thing. Can I give you a hug? You've changed my life. You're
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, even saying it now, I sometimes get
Yes.
emotional because
Yeah.
people like they have stories of, what it has meant to have
Y-
someone like David Icke
Yeah.
giving his sort of teachings and stuff. And that's much more indicative of the reality. Most people, in
Exactly.
my experience, are good people.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hardly ever meet a wanker down the street, like, and I'm talking
No.
about all cultures as well, like different races,
Yes.
different cultures, like whenever I'm meeting them, I generally have a nice experience with them.
Yeah.
So whatever you see online, I'm sure it's happening, no doubt about it, but it's
Yeah.
nothing like what I
But
experience.
those are generally people stuck in a dark room and who really dislike themselves and need to do work on themselves,
Yeah.
those people. And I think really that's the most important message of this whole thing is really all the work everyone has to do is on themselves with their own responsibility.
You
Yeah.
know what? If it
Yeah.
all comes down to that, it
Yes.
all comes down to that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm sure people might disagree, but
Mm.
there are so many delusions that a
Mm.
human gets caught up in, and
Yeah.
all of us do, because this realm, this place that we're in, is a place of Maya. It's a place of constant illusions and loads of different ways of interpreting reality, and you can look at
Hmm.
all sorts of different viewpoints and different sides. So it's very easy to get caught up in this illusion that you have of what you think reality is, and
Mm.
expecting everyone to join in, and if not, you're my enemy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the first step is to realize what a hall of mirrors this place is,
Yeah. Yeah.
and to just take it a step back and first start here.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
it's so easy
absolutely.
to judge others, isn't it? It's so easy to
Yes.
just go, oh, if only you did this, things would be
Yeah.
better.
Well, I mean, this is in a way, that's what they're doing with the Epstein files is saying all the problems over there. And
Yeah.
it's a kind of distraction. Whereas actually everyone needs to look into themselves. And so, I mean, the gathering is a place where all the people who have that idea, like-minded, can come and have a beautiful time together.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, and so am I. So am I. Absolutely. Already this
Yeah.
kind of conversation from
Yeah.
the last two gatherings we had, this was
Yeah.
the energy the whole time.
Oh, brilliant.
Recognition, sharing, and then of course you and your amazing music.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe you can tell the viewer who hasn't heard about you a little bit about your music.
Ah, well, I mean, my music's a bit like everything else in this whole debacle that we're in because it became an opportunity to do something. And I see this whole thing as an opportunity, and we've been challenged, and it's an opportunity not to get triggered, and it's an opportunity to kind of improve yourself and look at the way you're living. And my music came out of, obviously I was angry at first. So I mean, I've been following David Icke for years and amongst other things. And I remember writing a Facebook piece in something like 2020, I think it was, before, it might have even been before the lockdowns and all that, but about how he was like a canary in the coal mine. So if someone like David Icke's being censored, that's a warning to everybody because he's out there with a different viewpoint on things. And if he's being censored, that's the canary in the coal mine because they're going to start closing in and start censoring everyone. And that of course is exactly what happened. So I sort of went off on the marches. I don't like them being called protests. I don't like protesting
No, no, no.
particularly.
I totally agree with you. I'm the same.
So yeah, I just went to raise the vibe and have some fun and poke fun at all the monsters that we were having to deal with.
Yeah.
So and I mean my life, it's very strange. I'm constantly getting synchronicities that I thought were coincidences until recently. I've realized there's no such thing. So and I suddenly got pulled. I was an illustrator, and I drew the Dairy Cow for Craft, you know, that monster of an organization. And
Wow.
and so I was doing things like that, and then I suddenly got pulled to start doing music. And
Did you play like an instrument already
yeah,
before?
yeah. I
You
mean,
were a vocalist?
I was playing guitar and singing for, but for quite a while. But it was just suddenly it happened where I suddenly thought I need to get a singing teacher. So I looked online for a singing teacher, and I found this woman who seemed absolutely perfect. I didn't know where she was. She was literally 10 minutes away from my studio. So she became this mad Irish diva called Sandra Scott.
Oh,
So
wow.
she kind of used to cattle prod me out of my comfort zone the whole time. Yeah, which was absolutely wonderful. You know, so she got me doing classical music and all sorts of things. So when the lockdown started, I was ready to go, and it gave me loads of material for writing songs, and
Yes.
I
Yeah.
started off kind of changing the words of songs. So I changed "That's Amore" into "That's a Moron."
When you're driving along with your face up beyond that, when you're scared of the cold and you're not really old.
So, and that became a bit of an anthem, and I met a lot of people through singing, and I was just going along and making people laugh on the marches and having a fantastic time, and really, yeah,
The
and
energy,
meeting all my tribe, and it was wonderful
absolutely.
for
The
me.
energy on those marches
Yeah,
was absolutely epic. It was
yeah,
epic. I remember
oh,
walking, and we would walk for hours,
yeah,
and it was like the energy was so high. I felt like, wow, this is the feeling. We're all
mm,
together, and we're all seeing this. And I don't know how about you, but then when all the lockdowns were over, I thought it was quite sad how you felt people like pulling
yeah,
back again,
yes,
going back to their little holes
yes,
again, and then during the digital ID protest, the first one was okay, but the second one,
yeah,
unfortunately, Tommy Robinson did his
mm,
carol singing at the same time.
yeah,
And
mm,
it just, it was just like, where is everybody?
yeah.
I don't know what you think about it, but I've spoken to quite a lot of people who have said there's a bit of battle fatigue.
Yeah, I think also the pressure's different now. It's
Mm,
much more subtle
mm.
and much less
Less
focused.
acute. Yeah.
Because so when the lockdowns happened, we all knew exactly what we were kind of not happy about. Whereas now it's much more dissipated, the energy. So, I mean, we can feel the kind of boa constrictor coming, but we just need to just not worry about that and concentrate on, you know, raising
Absolutely.
vibration,
Yeah.
having, yeah, all the solutions. Yeah.
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 And,
So,
what's so great about the Gathering of the Mavericks is we've added the roundtable discussion sessions
yeah.
to it now. And the people that will be participating in that, so-called like experts on their various fields, like alternative monetary systems,
Mm,
self-sustainability,
yeah.
education of children, conspiracies. From what I've seen so far, is that there's already a lot of amazing initiatives that were birthed even some several decades ago. When you talk
Mm,
about an alternative monetary system or an alternative trading system,
mm.
that's already all in place. We don't have to invent the wheel.
No.
A lot of amazing, sharp minds have already come up with these things. And I think it's just a matter of making people aware of it
Yeah.
and then looking at how are we going to actually implement this. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the gathering in itself is a great place for brainstorming and
Yeah.
for
Yeah. Well,
and
the
for
thing
saying,
about creativity is, I've always found that people are most creative when you have limits to work within.
I know.
And so if you have no limits and someone says, "Oh, just paint a picture," you're kind of struggling. But if they say, "Paint a picture in this space about this," then you've got something to work with. And the more limits we have, the more creative people get. So
It's like you're in a prison and there's no way out.
yeah.
But you always find some way out, even though it could
Yes.
be
Yes.
impossible. And
Yes.
it activates all the ingenuity
Exactly.
inside the human. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'll read you a little bit because I'm writing for this propaganda, this magazine, that new magazine that's come out,
Yeah.
and this kind of sums up my view of it. We're living in post-ironic times. Sincerity, honesty, and integrity are the new cool. But how refreshing is that, though? We have been given an opportunity to look at the world with fresh eyes and reassess what's really important. It's a gift, and one that I've accepted gratefully. So that's kind of my summing up of the whole thing.
I think that's really marvelous, and coincidentally or synchronistically, what you just read about
Yeah.
that, that's the new cool.
Yes.
Last year's gathering of the Mavericks, we had some hoodies printed,
Yeah.
and I wanted on the back, "Soul is the new gold,"
Yes.
because it's becoming more and more rare to see real authenticity and real soul energy
Yeah.
in a society that prides itself in becoming fully digitalized and AI, and people becoming more and more uniform in a lot
Yeah.
of things they do. To then stand out and stand in your full authentic self, that's going to become a commodity that you cannot pay with gold and silver and all the money in the world.
No.
It's unique to have
Yeah.
that, and it has to be, whatever we do, we cannot afford to lose that.
No. No. But also both of those things are linked alchemically, because I only realized the other day that soul comes from soul, sun.
Sun, yes.
And gold is the metal of the sun.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Is that so?
Well, gold is the most. It's like the most important metal because it never deteriorates.
It never deteriorates.
Yeah, it's the only one that never deteriorates.
That's incredible. I also heard recently
Bees honey is the same.
the what?
Bees honey, which is the gold of the insect world, never
That
deteriorates.
I heard that
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, actually, that honey you can keep forever.
Yes.
You can just eat it forever. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's incredible. I also heard someone talk a few weeks ago about the sun being the place where the soul comes from.
Yeah. Well, it's soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I like what you just
Yeah.
said. It's like that's
Solar plexus.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing is, it's language that it's all in the words, isn't it?
Yes, again.
Yes,
Yeah,
everything's in the
absolutely.
words.
Absolutely.
I mean, I still remember when I realised that lunatic and the moon were linked. Yeah, that was,
There's
yeah.
some interesting stuff being written by David Icke about the moon and what he thinks it is, and
Oh yeah,
I find it interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
I met him actually on the steps of the Bank of England.
Yes.
There was a big sort of talk there, and I because I'm a wordsmith, I get to write people's speeches. So Charlotte Wright was one of my local community, and her husband Stephen was one of the first COVID vax victims.
Yes.
So,
I remember speaking to them,
yes,
to
so
her,
she
and-
used to go around with a sign saying AstraZeneca killed my husband.
Yes.
He died 13 days after he got the shot.
I know. I was there with David.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember it well. Yeah.
Yeah, and we stood there. Me and my friend Wayne stood there with Charlotte, where she did a fantastic job.
Yes.
She's had such courage. Charlotte?
Absolutely. And I think when you have a loss like that in your life,
Oh,
it's really beautiful to then have a mission, which
yeah,
then, it's twofold. It helps you with your grief,
yeah,
also creating awareness for other people. So I think
yeah,
that would have been a lifesaver for her.
yeah. But she's still going through it though. I
Yeah,
mean,
oh, of
she was
course, of
left with a
course.
couple of kids, and
Yeah,
so she's been absolutely fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah, so that was a real privilege to help her with her speech for that, and to stand there while she delivered it.
beautiful,
Yeah, yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, it's before we started recording, we were talking about Dharma, and you asked me what about
yes,
Dharma,
yeah,
and and I was explaining it's when you follow the gift that you've been given, your calling, and you're
yeah,
on that path, and I think it's beautiful when you can do that. You with your music,
mm,
poetry. Obviously, I'm doing my films, but if we all were able to tap into that and
mm,
and, and do that,
yeah.
society would look fairly different, I think.
What kind of films do you make?
They're generally all centered around the theme of consciousness.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a mixture between spirituality, psychology, conspiracy, whistleblowing on things.
Yeah,
So, for instance, when David Icke's daughter passed away, I got obsessed with dying, death, life after death, and everything.
mm,
So I made a four-part series called The Great Unknown, interviewing multiple people all about, yeah, what they think happens after we die.
yeah.
So that kind of stuff. I'm making a film now, currently called Sunspiracy, The Age of Endarkment. I'm doing that together with Dr. Vanessa Ingraham, who's in New Zealand,
Okay.
all about,
Sunspiracy.
yeah, all about the
Okay.
sun,
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
and the health effects. The
Have you come across Veda Austin and her work about water and the
Yes,
consciousness of water?
yes, you are like you must be the fifth person who's
Oh,
mentioned her name.
yeah, she's very nice.
Yeah, yeah,
An amazing story as well.
yeah, yeah,
She
yes,
has an amazing story. She had a
yes,
near fatal car accident,
yes,
and through drinking this water, after 20 years of having all sorts of surgeries, she drank this water from this special place, a spring where the water was really pure, and all the metal started coming out of her body. Yeah, amazing.
Wasn't she in New Zealand?
Yes, yes,
Yes, that's
she's, yeah.
right. Because people in New Zealand have mentioned her name. Yeah,
I
yeah,
tried to get her because I've got a song that I've done a big production of called Truth, Freedom, Justice, Love. And I wanted to get to use water and freezing water to get the images for that. I'm still
yeah.
working on that, but yeah, that's going to be the video for my song.
Oh, how excellent!
Yeah.
Masaru Emoto.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to in 2018. I went to Japan to
Wow.
and he had passed away by then. But I
Yeah.
met his son
Mm.
and filmed him talking
Oh, okay.
about the water structures and
Yeah.
everything.
Well, it
And
was
then and
his
I found it
work.
fascinating.
Yeah. It was
Yes,
his work that I think Veda Austin kind of
very
picked up the
so.
mantle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's funny when you keep hearing a name and it keeps coming
Yeah.
back. There's
Yeah.
often a little bit of a sign there, isn't there?
Yeah. No, she's great. She's got really lovely energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, the weekend.
Yes.
So, for those who are watching, I just wanted to just give a bit of a lowdown of what you can expect in the weekend. So, on the Friday, we start around midday. You can camp on the land, bring your van or set up your tent or hire like a glamp via the website. And then in the evening, we have like an opening cacao ceremony led by my very good friend Tracy Mulas. So that's what we'll start off with. And then on Saturday morning, we will have yoga and breath work again with Tracy. She's going to have a busy weekend. And then we're going to start doing the round tables. We're doing two a day. And then after the two round tables, By the way, the roundtables are going to be filmed, and I want to make a series about it as well. So if you can't make it this time, then you'll be able to see what we've spoken about in the series. And then in the evening, and that's something I'm very much looking forward to, is my friend Sarita Sol. She's a shamanic healer based in France, and we've done several series with her on our channel, iconic.com. And she's going to do a shamanic group ceremony to call in sovereignty. And I find the word sovereignty very interesting because, you know, there's a lot of people that talk about this whole sovereign thing in law and everything. And yes, that's very interesting. But I think first and foremost, sovereignty starts within, where you realize who and what you truly are and the freedom of who you are and what you can manifest in this world. So I've done her ceremony last summer in France, and it was, oh my word, very, very, very amazing. The whole process is incredible, especially when done with a big group. So that's our Saturday night. Then on
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And on the Sunday morning, we've got another breathwork yoga session, and then another 2 round tables, and that's when you come in.
Yeah.
You're gonna entertain us on the Sunday with your
Yeah.
music. And then throughout the weekend, we have sauna, we have the cafe that's open where you can eat. We have all sorts of other healing modalities that are there. There's activities for children. David Icke's son, Jamie Icke, is going to do the sports activities with the kids. And Sadie and Katie Jo from Hope are going to do activities with the children as well. So it's until Monday early evening. You can stay. So you don't have to participate in everything, but there's something for everyone, basically.
The food down there is always amazing as well.
No, I've tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cacao ceremony on the Friday, is that the one Evie's going to do the soul choir? We talked about Evie doing the...
I think so, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So dear Liv, who I'm organizing
okay.
this
Yeah.
with, she's on the ball with the details of that. But
Okay.
thanks for reminding me, because wouldn't that be incredible?
Yeah. Oh no.
Wouldn't that be incredible? Tell the people a little bit about that.
So my partner Evie is very connected, very spiritual. She does kind of past life regression. She does Reiki. She does sound healing with her voice, and we run a soul choir. So we. And she's got what we call the soul shed in the garden, where she's painted the tree of life, and we get groups of people in there. We have cacao, and everybody chants, and it's like a hair on the back of your neck.
Now, this is unmissable.
Yeah.
We have to absolutely do this, and I'm going to make sure that we'll get the information on the website about that, because because the thing is, when you've had that cacao. The last year when we did it, I think a lot of people didn't quite understand what it was about. So after the ceremony, they kind of went to bed, and I was like, no, you have to wait. Like this is it's going to get fun in a minute. And in the end, I was only me and 2 other people were still up by the fire. And then the heart started, and it just went.
Yeah. No, that's going to be beautiful. It's going to be really nice. She's very connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm personally so looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait, basically.
Yes.
I'm 10.5 away. So I just wanted to say to people watching as well that this Easter weekend, starting from Good Friday until Easter Monday midnight, we're going to give a 20% discount on anyone who wants to buy a ticket. If you use the discount code MAV20, MAV20, MAV20. If you go to gatheringofthemavericks.com and you go and click on tickets, you should be given an option to get a ticket with a 20% discount. Do not wait. Promo ended.
Shall I tell people where to listen to some of my stuff? Maybe I should do that. Yes, definitely. So trevorjohnmusic.com, and I've got a Telegram which is Random Human Music,
Random
And
Human Music. I
yes.
haven't even joined that one yet.
Ah, yeah. No, join me on
Random
there.
Human Music. Excellent.
Yes. Um,
Okay.
and yeah, I've got another couple of suggestions for people that
Yes.
I'll maybe tell you after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously we're updating the website the whole time.
Yeah.
So any new things that are coming in, there's still lovely new things coming in. We're
Yeah.
updating the website all the time. So
But
we're
people know how to deal with the councils and yeah, push back against the 15-minute city type stuff.
well, they need to join the roundtables then, don't they?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah, there's a couple of people I think would be absolutely invaluable. Yeah.
absolutely. I know
Yeah,
what you're.
Sandy Adams and who
Oh,
really
Sandy Adams from
yes.
Glastonbury.
Yes.
I met Sandy back in
Yeah.
2009 or 8,
Yes.
something like a very long time ago, and she's still active, huh?
Oh, well, I'm working
Yeah.
with her as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's just started up a podcast, Sandy. So,
Excellent.
yeah, so she should come.
She should 100% be there.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Top
I'll speak to
recruiter.
her.
Yeah,
I'll s-
excellent.
yeah.
Now, okay, well, Trevor, I'm sure we could go on for hours more, but
Yeah.
we agreed beforehand, let's do a short chat,
Yes.
which we did. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll see you at that weekend, and everyone
Yeah.
who's watching now, I hopefully will see you there.
Yeah.
Take care.
Oh, it's really nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.